Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiani and this week we're going to be crocheting my fall wardrobe part 2. The theme for this part of the series is going to be more spooky season, a little more dark, a little more Halloween themed. It's not going to be like Halloween costumes, but it is going to be a little more black and purple colors rather than like orange and greens and like fall leaves. It's going to be a little more fall spooky. So I already have a couple of projects planned that we're going to try to accomplish this week. We will see how fast we can get them all done. But for our very first project that is just going to be a quick and easy one and perfect for spooky season is going to be my iconic spiderweb cat ear beanie. Out of all the products I have planned for my fall wardrobe, this is the only one that like screams spooky season, actually Halloween related, because it is a spider web, it is black, it is spooky. So that is what we're going to be starting with today because it's also super quick and easy. Will just get us into the mood, get us into the spooky crochet mood. So to make this cat beanie, it is super easy. We literally just make a solid black hat and then we embroider on top a little white spider web. You can also do this in any kinds of colors. I've also turned this pattern into Spider-Man, Miles Morales themed cat beanies, but today we're just gonna be going with the OG, the solid black with the white spider web. So over on our yarn shelves, we're gonna need to grab our solid black yarn, and then I have a whole container that I keep of little scraps to use for my Spider-Man and spiderweb cat beanies, but today we're gonna be needing a little scrap of white for the spider web. All right, I'm back and I'm actually about to start crocheting now. We got our monster that we're about to chug to get our crocheting done today. We have our spooky Nightmare for a Christmas sweatshirt on to, match the theme of the day. Let's get crocheting. I think we're gonna get a good amount of stuff done today, guys. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling speedy. I'm about to drink this energy drink. I think we're gonna get at least 2.5 projects done today. Okay, that's the goal. And that's just today only, okay? Let's get into it. Start crocheting this cat beanie. I can't decide if I wanna watch a movie or a show or listen to music. I feel like I should watch a movie because I know I will be a little bit more productive, but I kind of would rather listen to music or like watch some YouTube videos maybe. But those, they get a little distracting because I have to stop my crocheting and keep picking what to watch next. So I don't know, but we're starting our chain. We're not in any bit of a rush today anyway. We're kind of just going with the flow, okay? No rush. We are on our 7th row of the hat. It's been about maybe 15-20 minutes ish. I've been listening to music, so it's a little hard to keep track of how much time has passed. Rather than when I'm watching TV, I'll usually go by how many episodes have passed, and that will be how long each project took me. But my current guesstimate is about 15-20 minutes. Honestly, recently cat beanies have been taking me a little longer than usual because as I improve my quality in my cat beanies, they tend to take me a bit longer to crochet. So I used to say they would take me maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, but I actually timed a cat beanie order that I made yesterday and it took me just about 30 minutes exactly, and that was me, trying to go fast, trying to get it done. So that honestly is a little bit slower than usual. I was spending a little bit more time, weaving in ends at the end, not just tying them and cutting them off. And I've also been adding a little bit more like length and width to my hats because I feel like my crochet tension has gotten tighter recently. I know I was just talking about earlier how I'm a very loose stitch crocheter, but for some reason I've been, taking measurements of my hats as I go along, and they're coming out a little bit smaller, so my crochet tension is getting a bit tighter. So I've just had to increase how many stitches I do, how many rows I do, which has made my hats take a little more time than they used to take. I used to be pretty speedy. We're pushing like 30 minutes per hat when I'm trying to go fast. 30 minutes for one hat obviously does not seem like a long time, but for me, as someone who crochets all day, all the time, 30 minutes for one cat beanie is a long time for me, and it's definitely not my fastest work for sure. Alright, we have finished the base of our hat, which is literally just a solid black cat beanie. Now it's time to take our little scrap of white yarn and we're going to embroider on a little spider web in the corner here. Pretty much I just make like 5 diagonal points towards the middle, and I will go and make an opposite direction diagonal. This isn't like a full tutorial, just trying to explain, my plan a little bit, but it's pretty straightforward. I literally just follow like the row lines. So each row will get like one sewing stitch of white across, and then then I will go back up and do like the sides of the spider web. You will see in the end kind of what I mean if you haven't seen my cat beanies before, but it is pretty easy. I don't do a lot of special designs on my cat beanies, honestly. I kind of want to start exploring and making new designs. When I first started my shop, I had a lot of different designs, and then I just kind of got stuck in the custom colors and sizes. But I definitely want to get back into making more different designs for people to pick from, like unique designs that only I have on my shop, you know? Maybe after this like Christmas holiday season, I can have a little brainstorming new product ideas kind of era, kind of rejuvenate my shop, get some new things on there. Because I feel like I've really just been kind of making and selling the same things for the past 3 years. I feel like I have not switched it up much. I obviously occasionally sell a sweater or a bag, but other than that, I feel like I'm getting kind of repetitive with my shop and with my orders. So I do wish I could switch things up a little bit. And making hats like these, when these occasionally get ordered during Halloween season, it's really, really fun and gets me out of that boring routine of making the same custom hats over and over and over again. All right, our hat is all finished. We sewed on the little spider web. Let's give it a little try on. All right, here's what it looks like on. I can't see myself, but you guys can see it. I hope you can see the little spider web good in the corner there. But now, moving on to our next project. This one's gonna be a little bit more difficult, just a little bit. It's gonna take a little bit of effort. This is pretty easy peasy. This next project is gonna take a little bit of brain power, okay? For this next project, I want to make a black fishnet shrug. Okay, I've made a couple shrugs before in the past, but this one I felt like would be a really good piece to make for this spooky season because I've been seeing lots of crochet pieces get incorporated into Halloween costumes. Now, if this turns out really good, it may be incorporated into my Halloween costume, but my Halloween costume isn't really like all planned out yet. So I do already have all of my numbers and measurements and kind of pattern-ish plan written down, like what I want it to look like and how I want it to fit. It is obviously just going to be a shrug, so just straight sleeves, not a lot of body or chest rows. Pretty much just make a good neckline, just enough to get to the armpits, and then make some nice cute fishnet sleeves. They're not going to be too bell sleeve, not going to be too oversized. I'm kind of aiming for something that is a little more fitted, but can also be styled with like layers. You know what I mean? Hope you can see the vision. We're of course going to be continuing to work through this black skein of loops and threads yarn. Our regular smegular size 4 medium weight, nothing special for the yarn. And we have switched to watching a movie. We're gonna be watching the documentary Look at Me on Hulu. I've already seen it before, but I wanted to watch it again. I was feeling a little silly. So we're gonna be watching this and crocheting this shrug. I don't know how long this is gonna take me, honestly. I don't make shrugs enough to have like a strict, speedy pattern that I follow. Pretty much every one of my shrugs that I've made and every one of my sweaters that I've made have all turned out completely different and have all taken completely different amounts of time. So we're just gonna start it and hope for the best. We are gonna be working with a bigger hook size so that it does really get off that fishnet look. So we were working with a 4.5, but now we're going to be working with a 8mm, which I actually need to find. This hook is a 7.25. I have this little adjustable kind of hook size thing that I like to use so that I can keep the same hook handle throughout all my projects. The largest size this one has is a 7.75. I don't know if that is what I want to use. I can either use a 7.75 or I can use a straight 8 on the boring, just straight metal hook. I'm gonna start with this one, and if I get irritated using this boring handle, I will switch to my, comfy hook and just size down to a 7.75. It's not too much of a difference, honestly. But let's get into it. According to our pattern, we are starting with 65 chains for the neckline. That's actually pretty off the shoulder. I don't mind it. I love a good off the shoulder, but I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote 8mm hook and 65 chains for the neckline. That is going to be pretty comfy, pretty slouchy. Alright, we are on our second row. I did have a little bit of a setback. We had crocheted a good chunk of the whole chest portion, and I realized I did not do any increases. So it was literally just like a straight down cylinder that would not have fit over my shoulders. It would just be like a turtleneck. So I did have to frog a good amount of the beginning of my work and pretty much go back to the first row. So now I've started over and I'm adding my increases in the corners like I should. Okay, here's our first try on of the first 4 rows. I think this is about enough to start clipping off the sleeve. sleeves. Maybe I should add one more row just in case, but the fishnet stitch is pretty stretchy. Like, this can definitely go fully over my shoulder and also stretch under the arms a little bit. I'm thinking I should add one more row just in case, just to be safe so that it's not too tight. All right, I've added our one more additional row. Now I have all of my stitch markers in place to make a chain and create these sleeve holes. I wrote down that I'm gonna do 6 chains in between each stitch marker to kind of make the armhole. Hopefully that should be enough, especially with the bigger hook size. It should be, you know, make enough space in there to fit a whole arm through. All right, this is 10 rows of the fishnet sleeve, already almost halfway to the elbow, which is actually pretty speedy building up, and it's still off the shoulder. One thing I do wish I maybe added one more chain in the underarm, maybe just one, because I feel like once I put my arm through the other sleeve, it's gonna feel a little snug. But for now, with just the one sleeve, it's okay. I can, you know, get it on. But once we have both shoulders fully in, it might be a little tight, but she's still cute. I really like it so far. I think obviously black was the perfect color to do because I don't wear any other colors, obviously. And it's also working up pretty fast. I haven't done any increases on the sleeve. This is just straight down all the way around. I'm doing 5 by 5 fishnet, so 5 chains, skip 5 stitches, 5 chains, skip 5 stitches, and that's working pretty well. All right, you guys, here is how much we got done yesterday. We have this whole sleeve. This is 25 rows of fishnet. I was planning on doing more like 30 to 35, but come on, that is more than enough. It's definitely long enough. It's even like dangling over the wrist a little bit, which I like. So now it is time to do the same thing over on this other sleeve. I did say that I wanted to get a full 2 projects done yesterday, but we're just gonna have to finish the second one today. So crochet this one sleeve, weave in all the little ends, and then hopefully start a 3rd project later today. Hopefully, if all goes well. All right, I have 25 rows on each sleeve, so this is how it fits. This is just a quick try on before I kind of cut the string off and start weaving in the ends, and I think she is fitting perfect. This is giving like the exact style I was looking for. It is giving like Halloween stylish spider web vibes. Like the fishnet is so fishnet. I don't think I'm gonna add any more chest rows. I'm just gonna leave it just like this to whatever kind of styling top I choose to wear with it. It'll kind of just be along the neckline here. And the sleeves, I don't think I need to make them super bell sleeves like I usually do. They're honestly already super like comfy and cozy, and I can even like stretch them out a little bit and they go fully over the hands. So I am loving it. I'm gonna cut off this last string and start weaving in the ends, and then we'll be done. All right, we have gotten all of our ends weaved in, and here's our final little shrug. I know this looks like, what is this? Like, girl, what is this? But you guys saw it on, okay? You saw it. It is a top. It does fit, even though it literally looks like fishnet leggings for a baby. It's still cute, and we are done with it. We are done. Our next project on the to-do list, we're gonna start it tonight. I don't know how far we will get into it, but it is going to be a cutie little mini skirt. Our main color, again, we're going to be continuing with this skein of black yarn. Our accent color is going to be the OG Joann's Big Twist little pink. So these will be going together, but it's going to be mainly black. We're only going to have a couple little stripes of pink in there. I'm not sure how many we're going to be going for this skirt. I don't know if it's going to be a little micro mini skirt, and I don't know if I'm going to be going with lots of ruffles either. This one is definitely going to be more of a freehand, trust the process rather than the fishnet. I had a little more plan with the fishnet shrug. For the skirt, not as much of a plan going on, okay? These are just the colors, and I'm also going to be switching back to our smaller 4.5mm hook. While we start crocheting this skirt, we're going to be watching Dinner in America. Let's see if that helps us stay productive, stay on track. Alright you guys, we've gotten a few rows done on our crochet skirt. Let me bring it a little shorter so you can see. Here is how it's looking, here is how it's fitting. We did 51 rows of this little color block stripe around the waist, and then we did 1 solid row of black, and then we did 3 rows of the pink with 6 increases each row. Obviously you can't really see the ruffle building up much, but once we get a few more rows done, you will start to see it ruffling out with the 6 increases in each row. So it doesn't look like much now, but this is gonna be a trust the process. I can already see that it's gonna be really cute in the end, but you guys are just gonna have to wait and stay tuned for part 3 of crocheting my fall wardrobe, and we will finish this skirt in that video. So make sure you are subscribed and you have post notifications on so that you guys can keep up with the skirt progress and see me continue to crochet my fall wardrobe within the next month. So for now, that is gonna be it for part 2 of crocheting my fall wardrobe. If you guys do want to check out more crocheting videos of mine, you can click on this playlist right over here, or if you just want to subscribe and be ready when all my next videos come out, you can subscribe right up there. And that's gonna be it for today's video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, love ya, toodles. I know things are hard.